welcome to ENI UK and Europe edition. I'm Love Ann Season reporting from London. We bring you news reports from the United Kingdom and Europe. We also have live reporters on standby ready to give their reports. Now for our news roundup. Britain in talks with Taliban over safe passage of remaining nationals. Trial of the terror attacks that rocked Paris in 2015 opens in September the 8th. With us today is from our Spain Bureau, Beverly Madrid. Hello, Beverly.
Hello, Love Ann. Thank you. Today I will be reporting about Spain ending Kabul airlifts after flying 2,200 people out of Afghanistan. Back to you.
Thank you. Also here with us today is Arian Celestino from the UK Bureau. Hello, Arian.
Hi, Lovan. Today I'll be reporting on how Swedish superstars ABBA is set to unveil sensational musical comeback. Back to you, Lovan.
Thank you for that. Now we have correspondent Mel-Marie Joy Corbett from our Turkey Bureau. And Mel-Marie will take us along the beautiful coast village of Acakese. In sports, we have our reporter Ryan Florentino joining us today. Hello, Ryan.
Hi, Laven, and thank you. We have for our sports segment, world-class football player Cristiano Ronaldo broke the all-time scoring record last Wednesday and resigns with former team Manchester United after 12 years. More on that later.
Wonderful. So now for our last segment, view from our window. We'll take a look at the magnificent Hans Wilsdorf Bridge in Geneva, Switzerland. Britain has opened talks with the Taliban over the safe passage of its remaining nationals and allies out of Afghanistan after the hardline Islamist group quick-fire takeover of the country last month. The British government confirmed to AFP it has dispatched senior civil servants, Salman Ghaz, to meet with Taliban representatives in Doha. Much of the group's senior leadership lived in the exile in the Qatari capital with the overthrow of Afghanistan's Western-backed government after 20 years of war. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has come under fire after many Afghans who helped NATO and are eligible to move to Britain were believed to have been left stranded in Afghanistan, where they are at the mercy of the Taliban. It is the first publicly disclosed diplomacy between London and the Taliban since Britain joined the United States in the mammoth airlift of more than 100,000 people out of the country after the Afghan military's capitulation. The Taliban has pledged to allow Afghans to come and go in the face of calls from the international community to honor the commitment in the days after the US withdrawal on Tuesday. More than 8,000 Afghans who helped NATO forces made it out of Afghanistan, and the British government said they would be given indefinite leave to remain. Now, this coming September the 8th, the trial for the terror attacks that hit Paris in 2015 will open. 20 people are charged over the attacks that took place in Paris on November 13, 2015, where 130 people died and 350 people were wounded. That day, suicide bombers and gunmen attacked Paris Stade de France Stadium, several bars, cafes, and restaurants, and the Bataclan concert hall. This was the deadliest terror attack to ever hit France. For the purpose of this much-awaited trial, a new courtroom was built in Paris. Expected at the trial are some 1,800 civil parties, more than 300 lawyers, and a dozen of journalists. The proceedings will last until May 2022. The trial comes close to 6 years after the attack and after years of investigations that took place in France and abroad. Time for a break now. Please come back for more ENI UK and Europe edition.
Bundesliga will start up again. It would be great if we had full stands and to sing our battle songs. Oh, and more goals wouldn't hurt either. A surprise would be great too. The Bundesliga highlights. Kickoff.
In good shape. Do's and don'ts that will help you stay fit for the rest of your life. We answer the question, what do our bodies really need?
In good shape.
Welcome back to ENI UK and Europe edition. I'm Love and Season. Interesting stories now from the UK and Europe this week. Spain ends its evacuations from Kabul, Afghanistan. With us today with an update is Beverly Madrid. Hello, Beverly.
Hello, Lavan. Yes. The end of its Kabul evacuations was announced by Spain after a 9-day operation that flew more than 2,200 people out of the strife-ridden country following the Taliban takeover. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez was at the airbase of Torrejón de Ardoz near Madrid when the last plane with evacuees from Afghanistan landed on Friday evening on a flight from Dubai, ending an airlift that began on August 18. Sanchez and other government officials applauded as the passengers, including Spain's ambassador to Afghanistan and 82 Spanish soldiers, got off the aircraft. He announced the end of the operation as mission accomplished, indicating that they have managed to evacuate 2,206 people, 3 times higher than expected. Sanchez said Spain was not going to abandon the Afghan people and that most of the people evacuated were Afghans, including 1,671 and their families who worked for Spain. Some 333 worked for the European Union, 50 who worked for NATO, as well as 21 Portuguese or Afghans working for Portugal. He said another 131 were evacuated on behalf of the United States. They stayed in Kabul until the last second, securing the operation without losing the commitment to seeking ways to continue evacuating the maximum number of people who worked with Spain and the international community. Sanchez also stated Spain did not have an exact number of Afghan collaborators who were left behind, but was working on a way to continue evacuating them without specifying that might entail. According to Foreign Minister Jose Manuel Alvarez, all European Union and NATO member states who had a presence in Afghanistan must not leave anyone behind and continue to extract Afghan collaborators and help Afghan people. Sanchez had pledged to evacuate as many people as possible following twin suicide bombings outside Kabul airport that claimed at least 85 lives. Hours later, his government announced the end of its airlift, saying the last 2 planes had landed in Dubai at dawn on Friday, carrying 81 Spanish nationals, 85 Afghans, and 4 Portuguese troops. Sanchez said there are 484 Afghans currently at the Torrejón base who would stay there another week before being sent to other reception centers within Spain and the EU. Spain has also agreed to host up to 4,000 Afghans flown by United States to 2 bases in southern Spain. Madrid and Washington signed an agreement stating that the evacuees may stay for up to 15 days at the air bases, which are used jointly by the United States and Spain. Back to you, Lavan.
Thank you for that, Beverly. So what are Spain's future plans concerning the evacuees and also after concluding the evacuation mission?
Well, Lavan, according to Spain's Foreign Minister, Jose Manuel Alvarez, Spain is just the port of entry. The evacuees will stay a few days, and from there, they will be distributed to various EU countries. The first 36 will eventually be settled in Denmark, Germany, Poland, and Lithuania. Also, Alvarez assured that the evacuation operation will still continue by other routes, that they will continue to reflect, work, and collaborate with their partners, allies, and friends in the world to keep a close watch on everything that happens in Afghanistan, in promoting a coordinated and firm response. Back to you, Lavan.
Thank you for updates from Spain, Beverly. So hope to have you back in our show soon.
Thank you, Lavan. Reporting from Barcelona, Spain, I'm Beverly Madrid. We live in interesting times.
Now, ABBA announces musical comeback with a new album. Joining us today on this story is Arian Celestino. Hello, Arian.
Hi, Loven, and yes, nearly 4 decades after disbanding and vowing never to get back together, Swedish superstars ABBA on Thursday announced a musical comeback with a new album and a London show featuring their performances captured by digital avatars. ABBA notched up over 400 million album sales over 50 years despite parting ways in 1982 and resolutely resisting all offers to work together again until now. Now let's listen to the reaction of some fans after the big announcement.
Well, today's announcement about the release of the ABBA tunes didn't come as a surprise. I mean, we knew it was happening. We were given the date, 2nd of September, but we're just waiting in anticipation. Were they going to be as good as all their past catalogue? And I wasn't disappointed. I just heard one of the new songs there, and God, I was getting very emotional, to say the least.
Where should I start? It feels magical. It feels like a dream. It feels like we've been waiting for this for a long time. We opened 2013, and about 2018 we heard about some new songs. Today I heard 2 of them. How crazy is that? That's fantastic.
Today.
I'm knocked out. ABBA is back. ABBA is back. ABBA is Avatar. One of my... I absolutely have to go to London and watch this. Amazing good. Woo!
On Thursday, however, Elvis and Anderson put an end to the suspense, following hints that something was in the pipeline. After the video announcement, both men appeared in person dressed in black for a presentation of the forthcoming album. Anderson said that the album is in the can now and that it's done, describing the group's return to the studio against the spectacular backdrop of the view from the top of London's ArcelorMittal Orbit Tower. It's been 40 years, or 39. It was like no time had passed. It was quite amazing, he said. Elvis also added that no imagination could dream up that. To release a new album after 40 years and still be the best of friends. The pair looked relaxed and described their reunion as very friendly. The album will come out on November the 5th, the musician said, with the show expected in May 2022. The now septuagenarian stars of pop classics such as Dancing Queen, The Winner Takes It All, and Take a Chance on Me last recorded new music together in the 1980s. British radio presenter Zoe Ball, hosting the interview, said, "This is huge. Yes, ABBA are back together officially." The presentation came after the group Annie Friedlingstad, 75, Agnetha Falskog, 71, Elvis, 76, and Anderson, 74, announced on Twitter last week, "Thank you for waiting. The journey is about to begin." 2 new songs, I Still Have Faith in You and Don't Shut Me Down, were played in London on Thursday, featuring the band's characteristic sound. That's all for me. Lovan.
Well, very exciting news you just shared, Arian. So why do you think the four musicians finally decide to reunite after all these years?
Well, Lovan, as Alvius said in a 2008 interview, there is simply no motivation to regroup. Money is not a factor, and we would like people to remember us as we were. According to Celebrity Net Worth, each member of ABBA is worth between $200 to $3 million. In 2000, they turned down a $1 billion offer to perform a 100-show world tour. Swedish ABBA expert and author of several books on the group, Carl Magnus Palm, said of their comeback in a comment to AFP that the four musicians are very independently wealthy, so they don't think it's because of the money. Instead, they are genuinely excited by the possibilities of this comeback. Back to you, Lovan.
Thank you for bringing us this great report, Arian. So hope to have you back in our future shows.
Thank you for having me today. Reporting from the United Kingdom, I am Arian Celestino. We'll live in interesting times.
Okay, time for a break now, but please come back for more ENI UK and Europe edition.
Ngayong linggo na itala ang pinakamalaking bilang ng COVID-19 cases sa Pilipinas. As a result, MECQ in Metro Manila and other provinces has been extended, forcing small business owners to cope with another week of heightened restrictions. Maraming mga negosyo ang tuluyan ng nagsara at ang iba naman ay nag-iisip ng iba pang pamamaraan para makabawi. Sa episode na ito, sasagutin natin ang tanong na, how can my business survive this pandemic? We'll find out as we discuss our topic, creating your business model map, with our correspondent Randy Bernardino and the chairman and the chief innovation strategist of Mansmith and Fielders Inc., Mr. Josiah Go.
Don't wait for everything to normalize. No? Start a new business that represent essential, that would carry essential product.
All these in this episode of Open for Business.
Totoo ang kasabihang may pera sa basura, lalo na kung magagawa ang iba't ibang bagay mula sa mga recyclable material na inaakala ng iba na itatapon na. May ilang barangay sa bansa ang nagre-recycle ng basura at makikita ang iba't ibang bagay na gawa sa basura. Dekorasyon sa bahay, sa mga proyektong ito, nagiging malinis ang kapaligiran bukod sa mayroon pang pagkakakitaan.
Welcome back to ENI UK and Europe edition. I'm Love Ann Season. More interesting stories in the UK and Europe this week. We now go to Turkey to discover a coastal village close to Istanbul. Mel Marie Joy Covet takes us there. Here's her report.
Allow me to take you to a hidden paradise here in Istanbul, isolated from pollution, urbanization, and construction.
Akçakese is a coastal village in the Şile district of Istanbul in the Asian side. The village is 60 kilometers from Istanbul, with a population of 402. The sea of Akçakese Bay is quite shallow, wavy, and clear. There are impressive sea stalls. Some have small caves in them. Truly a natural wonder. And if you go for a swim, you will feel that the water is warmer there. If you are a day tripper but with a low budget for this trip, I would recommend you to prepare food put hot water in a thermos, and bring cold drinks, beach umbrellas, and chairs. There's also part of the beach where you can rent umbrellas, beach chairs, and buy food. If your passion is camping, you can bring and set up a tent and enjoy your stay gazing at stars in the sky, feeling the cold breeze while listening to the waves of the sea. The green and blue calm cold waters of the Black Sea that even if the long white sandy beach barely burns your feet, you'll feel that tranquility is at your fingertips.
The silence, the sound of the waves, the warm wind, and the magnificent scenery of nature will rest our minds even for a while. From Istanbul, Turkey, I am Mel Marijoy Cuvet. We live in interesting times.
Thank you for that story, Mallory. Now in sports today, Cristiano Ronaldo breaks the all-time international goal-scoring record and returns to Manchester United. Ryan Florentino is with us today with the details. Hello, Ryan.
Hi, Lavan. And yes, world-class football player Cristiano Ronaldo broke the all-time scoring record last Wednesday and resigns with his former team, Manchester United. Cristiano Ronaldo will wear Manchester United's iconic number 7 uniform again after Edinson Cavani agreed to surrender the shirt. Cristiano Ronaldo recently broke the all-time international goal-scoring record on Wednesday with his 110 Portugal goal, taking him past Iranian's great Ali Daei's record when he scored an 89th minute equalizer in Portugal's World Cup qualifier against the Republic of Ireland in Faro, Portugal. His team scored a late double as they made a comeback to beat the Republic of Ireland 2-1. The 36-year-old, whose return to Manchester United from Juventus Football Club was confirmed last Tuesday. Ronaldo followed in a long list of United legends to have worn number 7 during his first years with United from 2003 to 2009. The 36-year-old rejoined United from Juventus last week, but teammate Cavani had the number 7 at the start of the season, raising the possibility of Ronaldo having to wear a different shirt. But Cavani has agreed to swap to number 21, which was the veteran striker's uniform for Uruguay. So Ronaldo can reclaim his old jersey. In his first period with United after signing from Sporting Lisbon, Ronaldo scored 118 goals and won 9 trophies, including 3 Premier League titles and the UEFA Champions League. Ronaldo, who left United for Real Madrid 12 years ago, is set to make his second debut in the Premier League match against Newcastle on September 11. Players George Best, Brian Robson, Eric Cantona, and David Beckham are among the other Manchester United stars to have won the famous number 7. It is great to have the once 18-year-old back as a veteran, and we are excited for his career moving forward. And that about wraps up our sports segment this week. Please join us next week for more sports within the UK and Europe. Back to you, Lavan.
Thank you for that sports update, Ryan.
Thank you for having me, Lavan. Reporting from the UK, I am Ryan Florentino, and we live in interesting times.
Okay, now in today's View from Our Window, we take a look at the Hans-Wilsdorf Bridge in Geneva, Switzerland. The Hans-Wilsdorf Bridge is an architectural gem located over the Arve River. It was completed in the year 2012. The metal structure is 85 meters long and has a deck that is 15.5 meters wide. Its generous dimensions allow separate lanes and paths for vehicles, cyclists, and pedestrians. When lit at night, the beauty of this tube-shaped bridge is even more emphasized. This view is courtesy of Christine Benedicto from our EBC Switzerland Bureau. Thank you for sharing this view with us, Christine. Okay, that's it for today's program. Stay safe and keep positive as we bring you more stories next week from the United Kingdom and Europe. I'm Love Ann Season, and we live in interesting times.
Ngayon, panahon ng pandemya, kailangan nating ingatan ang ating sarili sa lumalaganap na COVID-19 infection. Kaya maibabahagi ako sa inyo na makakatulong upang pataasin ang ating immune system. At dahil lockdown, hindi na kailangan lumabas pa ng bahay. Ito ay makikita lamang natin sa ating bakuran. Ang mga halamang gulay at prutas na makakatulong para pataasin ang ating immune system. Tara, samahan niyo akong mamitas ng mga ito. Ito po ang sili. Nakatutulong ang sili sa digestive health and metabolism. Nilalabanan ang cancer, fungal infection, sakit ng ulo, sipon at trangkaso. Makatutulong din upang makaiwas sa type 2 diabetes. Ito naman ang talong. Bukod sa nakatutulong ito sa ating digestion, ang talong ay good for the heart. Nakapagpapatibay ito ng mga buto, nakatutulong para maayos ang ating pagtulog at nakatutulong din sa pag-iwas sa cancer. Nagbibigay din ang talong ng vitamins at minerals na ating kailangan. Ito naman ang malunggay. Hindi lang pang tinola ang malunggay. Ito ay halamang gamot na mabisang panlaban sa maraming sakit, nakapagpapakinis ng balat, nakapagpapalusog ng buhok, pampatibay ng buto, tumutulong sa atay, pangpaiwas sa cancer. At dahil mahusay panlaban sa bakterya, makatutulong sa masakit ang tiyan. Papaya. Alam ba ninyo na ang masarap na prutas na ito ay nakapagpapalakas ng ating immune system? Puno ito ng vitamin A, tumutulong sa ating digestive system, anti-aging, nakatutulong sa weight management, at